Hello everyone and welcome back. So today we are going to discuss about entity relationship model in SAP Datasphere. So in SAP Datasphere, an entity relationship or an ER model serves as a framework for designing databases and data models. It allows you to visually represent the structure of your data and the relationship between different entities. Okay. And some other aspects of entity relationship models are an ER model provides a diagram for organizing your data entities, which is tables and views in relation to one another. So um, it provides a graphical view where you can see the relationship between multiple tables and views. You can add entities from the repository, which is like what all tables and views you have already created in your datasphere, and you can also import them from connections, okay, or through CSN files, or create a new entity directly within the ER model editor. You can also modify entity properties, including adding human readable business names and creating associations directly in the diagram. The work you do in ER model benefits all users in your space, as they can use entities you import or enhance as source in their views. So once we create an entity relationship model for a specific space or a specific business area, we basically include all those views and tables in that model, and we create associations like how they are related to each other. So basically we create for example, if we have a fact table in our data sphere, and we need a dimension attributes for different dimensions, then we will associate our dimension tables, which is also known as an attribute or a master data table, with our fact table. And in turn we also associate text table with our dimension tables. So these all associations gives a whole picture of the business, which will be very useful when we will develop our analytical model. Okay, we will see that in demo, but this is really important. So this is one aspect of importance. Another importance is, once we create an model, there are multiple users or developers who will be using or viewing it. So it also gives a overview or a picture of like how our tables or views are related to each other. So there might be some similar names of a dimension, but once we will come to the model, we will see that which is the correct master data or the text table for a specific dimension. So this is also one of the importance. So, and third importance I would say is, like, if you are building your tables from scratch in your SAP Datasphere, and you already have the structure or the design of the tables, and you also know the associations, like how those tables are associated with each other. So to quickly design your entire architecture or the data architecture, instead of creating table one by one in your table editor, you can also go to entity relationship model, and because you have everything ready as a design, you can directly add tables in your entity relationship model through connections or through directly there is an option to add a table, and then you can add a view. Also, while performing the association, you come to know that there was some existing table which needs some additional feed. That can also be done in the model editor. You can add additional field to the existing tables as per your need. So that is really important. So in editor, real time data preview also you can see. So once you are doing the association, you can also view the data of each component, whether you have added a view or a table. And then you have integrated impact and lineage analysis. So this is really useful if you want to see the where used list or the lineage analysis, like how the objects are related within the SAP Datasphere. And then you also have an option for model import and export. So you can also import or export the model. Before proceeding with the demo of this model, we need to know the association. Okay, so what is associations? So you can create association in the entity relationship model, table, and view editors. So there are three areas in SAP Datasphere where you can create associations, which is in the model editor, in the table editor, and in the view editor. Create an association from any table or view to any other table or view at any level of the data layer. So there is no restriction or something based on your design. You can create association between any tables or views at any data layer. uh, what it does, so this creates a join which is only executed at the runtime when the associated data is queried. Okay, so it creates a kind of a join, and it's a kind of a star schema and extended star schema concept, how star schema works. So if you want to know more about the star schema, I have one more video. I will put in the description. I will put the link, and you can go through it to learn what is the star schema and how it works. But if you already know, then it is pretty much okay. Then how these associations can be done. So when you go to uh, model editor, you can create any kind of associations. Okay, but you need to be you need to be very specific, which is what is the best practice and which will be relevant for the analytical purpose. Okay, so if you have an analytical data set which is a table or a view in a view form, then you can associate that table or view to a dimension or a text entity. So let's suppose you have a fact table, and your fact table contains a list of dimensions and list of measures. Okay, and one particular dimension or multiple dimensions have a dimension table associated with it. So then you can associate those dimensions to your dimension tables, and you can also associate those dimensions to your text tables. So this is analytical data set. Now if you have a dimension table, you can associate your dimension to another dimension. So let's suppose one dimension table tells a specific aspect of uh, of the data, one property. Another dimension table is telling you another property, because there is a concept like if we use a financial term, we have chart of accounts, which is a compounding key for GL account. So if we have multiple chart of accounts, and we have a GL account master data, then it can have multiple dimension tables, if required, or it can also have a single dimension table based on how you design it. Okay, but it will have two multiple keys, right? So basically, we will not complicate it at that much as of now. So dimensions can associate to another dimension, and it can associate to a text entity, and it can also associate to a hierarchy. So for example, we have a GL account. So one GL, so that GL account dimension can be associated to GL account dimension table. It can associate to GL account text table, and it can also associate to GL account hierarchies. Then what we are going to do in the demo session is we will create a model to import, visualize, edit, and deploy multiple data entities. Those are tables and views together To create an entity relationship model, click on the new entity relationship model tile to open the editor. So this is the first step. And then add objects to the diagram. You can create new tables and views directly in the diagram. So you can see we can also create new tables and views directly from repository and from the connection and from CSN file. Create associations between objects to indicate how they are created and ease the creation of joins in your joins. Then modify the property of object, including providing business names for them to make them easier to identify and use for technical users. Now save and deploy all the changes to the object visualized in the diagram. So these are the basic steps how we create the ER model in SAP Datasphere. Now it's time to move on to demo session and we will see how we will create our first ER model. So now we are at the home screen of our SAP Datasphere. To create a ER model, we will go to the data builder option. Okay. So it is taking some time. Okay. So here we will select this new entity relationship model, which is also known as ER model. Click on this, and first I will show you what all options are there, and then we will create our first ER model. So let's wait till the editor screen appears. Yeah, so we have the editor screen now. So here you can see the repository. So repository is basically the objects from your SAP data sphere, which is already there. So here you can see what kind of objects are these. So these are basically either tables or views. So you can create your ER model based on either table or view or combination of both. Apart from that, you will not get any other object over here. So it is only tables and views. That is first thing. Now another option is like if you want to add a table from your source, kind of a remote table, then you can go to your connections. So whatever connections you have in your space, you will get over here, and then you can select the respective table from your source. Okay, so this is another way. So if you don't want to do much changes to your table and you can simply want to replicate a remote table, so you can just simply drag and drop. It is very quick. Mm, it is pretty slow. Let me try once again. Yeah. So like this, you will be able to replicate a remote table. So this is a remote table. Similarly, if you have multiple sources like BWS4 and instead of creating a table, you want to replicate your uh, you want to have a remote table, you can just simply drag and drop. So this is the symbol of remote table or a live connection. You can see the arrow is pointing towards both the directions. So that means we are not saving anything over here. And you will also get an option if you want to wait. So if you want to perform any changes, so for this, because this is a remote table, you will not get much option. But if you drag a table from your repository, then you will get an option. So this one I just added to showcase how you can extract how you can add a remote table directly instead of creating it. You can directly add it to your ER model while creation. But in our ER model, which we are going to create, we are not going to use it. So using this delete button, you can delete it. So it is gone. We will go back to the repository. Okay, and Let's suppose we are going to use sales order view, for example. Okay, so sales order views, this is our view. So as I said, we can use view or table, any any of those. So this is our view, and now let's suppose it has a parent id, right? Sorry, partner id. Now if I want a business partner details, I will drag business partner. Okay, so here you can see it automatically joined, I guess, based on the field. But you can also see in the property, once you will click on the arrow. Okay, so you need to understand there is a difference between join and association. If someone is not clear about it, join is basically from the both the ends, and join has types like whether it's an inner join, outer join, left outer, or it's a union. So all have its own aspects, and you will get a final data as a result. Okay, in case of a join. Okay, so you have five tables, you created join as per your need, and you will get some output as the final. But association is something, this is your main table, and it is associated to another five tables. So when you are running a query, you can fetch a different properties from the tables associated with this. So this will be the base of your analytics. But let's suppose, instead of for example, you can do your analysis like total gross amount per partner. So you can directly use this table, so there is no need of association. But let's suppose uh, you want to do the you want to do the analysis by company name. Now company name is not available over here, but partner business partner is one of the association of this table, and it has a company name. So if association is there, then you can also analyze your data by company name, address, id, or whatever attributes are available over here. So that is the importance of creating a ER model. ER model provides you a flexibility and very easy graphical interface where you can associate your tables and views. So you do not need to code much, just drag and drop, and you can relate your table. And I've already explained like what are the three important aspects or benefits of ER model. So this is one, and let's suppose we also have an address table which we have created. So I will drag and drop address, and here you can see it is associated with address. Okay, so similarly, I will not make it very complex. I will keep it simple. So similarly, you can add more associations, like if your sales order view have, or a sales order table have more dimensions which is associated to more fields. Like we have a business partner, we also have a text table. Let me see if I have the yeah, so we have the partner text as well. Let me drag it. Oh, it's loading, so let's wait for some time. Yeah, now it's loaded. Now I will drag this. Okay, and I will click on this table. If it is not associated automatically, you need to click on that table or view. Then there is an arrow icon over here. Just click on this arrow and drag to the table. Okay, okay, so association is created. So here parent ID, sorry, partner ID has its business partner master data, and partner ID also have its text. So if by mistake, so let's suppose, because this is auto assigning, so let's suppose if you have, so here you can have options. So by mistake, if you have created the association in wrong direction, then you can use this to flip the arrow. But in our case it is correct because our fact table is going to the text table. That is okay, which is perfectly fine. Now in case this auto created association is not correct, mapping is not correct, then what you can do, you can click on the association, which is the arrow, and then you can go to the mappings over here in the details, and you have all options showing all the fields from both the tables. You have unmapped and mapped, so you can click on mapped and you can see parent partner id and partner id are related. But let's suppose system has associated it with a wrong partner id. Let's suppose you have two similar columns in your table, then you can delete it. So you can delete it either from here, you can delete, or you can also delete it from here by selecting and deleting it. It will delete it. Okay, and then you can drag and drop. Okay, so let me delete it. So you can see it is deleted now, and you get an error option over here. Then you can, sorry, I don't want to go there. So then you can go to all. Okay, and then you can go to partner id, drag and drop on the partner id. So it's that simple. And then you have these business names, technical names available over here, how it is created. So this is a text table that we have created, and this is how we wanted to showcase our data. Okay, so this is in the details panel. Let's see if we have any other options to see in the details panel of the ER model. Okay, this is sales overview. So you can also go to the property of each table or view. So let's suppose this is a business partner table. Once you click on this business partner table, you will get all the details of that table. And instead of going into the table editor, you can change the properties directly from this panel. So you have the technical name, the business partner name. You can see, you can change it. This is a dimension table, but let's suppose if this was a relational data set previously and you want to change it, you can do that as well. And then delta capture, as we have already discussed, is not allowed once the table is deployed. And then we have the status, the deployment on, then we have the attributes of the table. Here you can see there is a pencil icon. So there are all the things that you can do. You can see, you can set as a key. Only the representation is a bit different from the table editor, but it provides all the options. You can also add associations, and you can also add data access control over here. Then you have the business purpose, similar to the table editor, and the dependent objects. So basically it is entirely a table editor. You can do all those, most of the things, not everything I would say, because upload option and the menu bars are not available over here. Like if we were updating the table or editing the table content, those are not here, but majority of the part is already over here. So that you can do. Now once we click on our view, you can see there are several options. So first option is you can create a view out of the selection. Okay, so let's suppose there is a table, because this is an editor and there are table, but you don't want to use that table. Instead you want to create a view and use it. So instead of going into the view editor and create a view, you can create view directly from here. So once you click on create view, it will create a view of this table. So that's pretty cool, I would say. Here you can see it is asking the name of the view. Okay, if you want to open it in a view editor, it will open. If you want, after creating a view, if you also want to do some modifications which is not available over here, that you can do by using this option. But I will not create this view. For me, the table is okay. Another option is, um, you can shift or your columns up and down using this arrow. So once you select web address, you get an option to move it up and down, and you also have an option to add a new column. So because this is a table, once you add a new column, this will be added to your table. um, it is not like it is just related to this model. It will edit the original table once you will click on add a column. Okay. Similarly, if you go here you can see you are not able to select a column because this is a view, this is not a table. Okay, even if you select, you will not get an option to shift or add a new column because this is a view, but in the table you will get that option. There are certain options um, based on the artifact or the component that we have selected. Once you click on the top, then you will get an option. So this is an option to add a column from here as well, which will be added at the end. And then this one we have already discussed, we can create a view, we can create a new table directly from here. So irrespective of this, you will click on any of them, it will provide you an option to create a new table. And then you can assign the attributes, measures, the type of the table, and everything from here. Apart from these table options, you also have an option over here to create a new table. You can see at the top. So from here also you can create a new table. This is which is pretty cool. Next option we have already discussed. This is used for association. You need to long press on it and drag it to the respective target. Then we have plus option, which is, you can add related entities. So let's suppose your repository is quite large. Okay, and you don't know the name of that view or table which is related to sales order view. Okay, so this will help you to identify related to a partner ID or related to a sales order ID, what all related entities are there. So once you click on it, so you will get a list of objects over here. So you can see, we have a sales order, which is also added and already present in the diagram. So we have another local fact table which is related to this business partner, but we haven't added it. That is why it is providing an option to add it by providing you a checkbox. And we also have another two tables which are address and, another one is view, but these are already part of your model. That is why it is showing already present in the diagram. So this is pretty easy. You do not need to find. So this is another way how it will help developer to identify the related objects or the related tables. Okay, let's go to the next option. So this is a view. So at any case you want to view the data, so you want to know like how the data is, so you can just use this option to view the data of the partner table, business partner table. So this is the data of the business partner table. So similarly you can view the data of other tables and views added to your model. So I think there is no data for the address table, you need to upload it. So we will do it later. So let's check for partner text. It is still loading. Yeah, so you can see the partner ID, the language which is English, and the description of the partner ID. We already have it. So this is done. You can click this option to auto layout in case you have a very clumsy design and you are not able to see all. It will auto set the layout of your ER model. Okay, and then you have this expand and collapse option to expand and collapse. If you have expanded anything, so you can use this option to expand. And these are the zoom in, zoom out, to zoom in and zoom out of your table. Okay, and this is a linear analysis which we can use to see a similar kind of where used analysis, like how this view has been used throughout your design or throughout your space in your SAP Datasphere. And then this is auto generated CSN notation that you will get. Okay, so here you can see the CSN notation of a table. This is for a view, so sales order view, this is the name, then the elements, and then at the end you have the meta dependencies null, and then you have not editable. So this you can use in case you can also use this CSN annotation, but I think graphical interface are really easy to design and very less time consuming instead of going through the CSN annotations. But CSN annotations has also have their own importance, like to automate something where on the fly or on the run you are creating some objects, and later on after performing that activity you want to delete that object, you don't want to keep it, then you can use a CSN annotation. That is one example, but the use cases may vary based on the requirements. Here you have an option to import the CSN. So you can write a code for all the associations, and then you can just import it, and then your object will be created. That's pretty easy. And then this is like import from connections, which is also available over here. Sources. This is like once you are created, you want to export your CSM file. So then you can use this option. Okay. Do you want to save the model before the export? Okay. As we haven't saved the model as of now, so let's not export it for now. This is undo and redo option that you can do against any action that you have taken in your screen, in your editor. You also have certain options. So this is a sales order view. So for the order, because this is a view, so for view, whatever options you get in the view editor, you are also getting it over here. Not all, but most of them. Then if you click on the any open space, then you will get the property of this ER model, which is the model name. You can name the model name, business name. Then you can see there are three tables and one views used in this table. Okay, and then what you can do, you can save it. Everything is okay, there is no error. So you can see the validation message is green, so you can save it, and you can name it as your sales order ER model. Okay, let's save it. Okay, I think I already have a similar name. Let me name it as sales. Let's save it. So it is saving. Okay, so if you have any concerns or questions related to any of the options or functions we have in the ER model, please put your questions in the comment section, and I will try to answer those questions. I think many of the people get confused between the purpose of ER model and the view. So view is basically is a kind of a join where you can join the tables for your analytical purpose. Like three or four tables together gives you a insight, and each table can have the measures. But in case of ER model, you have a one central table, and how this is related to associated to another table, which are dimension, text, and hierarchies. Kind of a star schema or extended star schema this is. So we are done with creating the ER model, and now our sales order view is associated with partner text and business partners. So let's create an analytical model from our view. So if we go to the our view, so this is our view, it is loading. Let's wait for some time. Now it is loaded. Okay, so our semantic usage is fact, which is perfectly fine because this is a fact table. Okay, if you want to export this data of your sales order view to any external system through OData or something, then you can use this expose for consumption. But we are not created it for exposing or sending it to external system, so that is why it is okay to keep it off. And then we have a run in analytical mode option. Let's keep it off for now. We will discuss that further later on. This is an option if you want to restore your deployment version. Okay, then you can do that. Okay, so let's deploy the solution. So it's deploying. Okay, deployment started, and we'll get a notification once the deployment will complete. So this will become 64. Okay, so deployment has been done. You can see the status, it's deployed. Okay, and for the sales overview, why this was gone under deploy, because we added an association to a view. That means this view was also needs to be deployed, and once we deploy our model, then everything related to whatever we change in any of the table or the view, everything will be deployed at once. But if you do it through table or view one by one, then it will take time consumption. So that is another advantage of model. Now here you can see there is an option to create an analytical model. We will click on that. Let's wait for some time. So now we have our analytical model getting created. Okay, so here you can see our sales order view is associated with partner ID. Okay, so now what we can do, before deploying it, there is one validation error. So attribute partner ID is fact source has conflicting setting for text resolution. Okay, this is a warning message. Has conflicting setting for text resolution. Changes to assign text dimension in, so that if okay, so this is a warning message we are getting to the text. We will correct it later on, but for this analytical view, I just want to showcase you how the association is really helpful for analytical model or analysis purpose. So we will go to the preview. And in the preview you can see, if you will not do the association, then you will not be able to see the data by company name. But as I have done the association, I can see the data by company name. So I can just simply add it, and by company name I am able to see all the data. So whatever attributes are available over here, I can use that for my analysis purpose. So when we will be creating charts or visualizations in SAP Analytics Cloud, then also this property will be really helpful. So this was it which we wanted to discuss about uh, entity relationship model. Hope you like the content. If you like the content, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to receive the latest notifications. And please provide your valuable feedback in the comment section. Thank you so much and have a nice day.